The notion that 2 months or 3 months after something as horrific as what happened in Newtown happens, and the entire country was shocked. And the entire country pledged we would do something about it, and this time would be different. Shame on us if we've forgotten.
And that was President Obama earlier today pushing for more gun control. The Wall Street Journal's Jerry Seib joins us now from Washington, D.C. Jerry, it does seem like an awfully long time ago, but it was only a few months in Newtown. Tell us more about the president's push for gun control.
Well, look, Congress is gone. They're off on a 2-week recess. One of the concerns at the White House is that this issue might be losing its momentum as time passes, as Congress worries about budget issues, and as it goes into this recess. So one of the reasons for the event today was just to keep the idea alive and keep the momentum pushing forward. So what the president did specifically was he pushed 4 ideas that are advancing or have advanced in the Senate. 2 of them are kind of non-controversial. They're sort of motherhood issues. One is school safety, spending more on school safety. Nobody's against that. Another one was to end straw purchases, purchases in which somebody buys a gun and then hands it off to somebody who's a felon or who's barred by law from buying a gun. That's not particularly controversial. 2 more controversial provisions that he talked about. One is to limit the size of magazines that people can buy, so that you can't have as many rounds in a gun. And the other one is, and the most controversial, the ones he mentions, universal background checks. Much broader background checks for everybody who's buying a gun at a store or at a gun show. Interestingly, Simon, what he didn't talk about much at all, except obliquely, was what some people really would like to have happen here on the gun control side. That's a ban on assault weapons. Didn't come up. It's not going anywhere in the Senate as far as most people can tell.
And this also comes in tandem with new information released about the alleged Newtown murderer, saying that he had a stash of basically an arsenal of weapons and 1,600 rounds.
Right. And fairly detailed plans to go about using that material. So that story also probably helps the White House keep this alive. It gives it a new burst of interest, I think, in the public. And frankly, that's probably the only way that anything's really going to get done here. There has to be some push from outside Washington to make it happen, because otherwise the White House's concern might be realized. The momentum might slow down here. But I do think there are limits to what can be done, and I think the White House just wants to make sure that something happens, even if it's not the ultimate bill that Democrats would like.
So do you think, Jerry, do you think that President Obama making this speech today was an indication that perhaps he has lost the momentum and it's not really going anywhere?
Well, I don't think it's not going anywhere. One of the things the Senate did do before it left was have the Judiciary Committee send these 4 bills to the floor of the Senate. So it's on the calendar. It's going to get acted on. It's not moving as quickly in the House, but there is a danger that people get focused on other things, and this does go away.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jerry Seib of the Wall Street Journal. We appreciate your time. And more on that on WSJ.com.